is this beautiful edge design featuring reverse single crochets, which adds 2 dimensions to the fabric. On this video, I'll teach you how to do the double corded edge. I'll be using a 4mm hook and some cotton yarn size 4. Alright, so for this design, you're going to start with a foundation chain that's any number of chains plus 1 for your base chain. We're going to begin with row 1, and sorry, in my case I have 14 chains. For row 1, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So skip the first chain, into the next, a single crochet. And then you do 1 single crochet into each chain all the way to the end. So just do 1 single crochet into each chain of the foundation chain, and I'll see you when you're done. Okay, this here is the end of row 1. For row 2, we're going to start with the chain 1, and we're not going to flip or work. We're actually going to be working reverse single crochets under the front loop of the next stitch. So essentially, for a reverse single crochet, I'm going to show you right now what it would look like if you go under both loops, just because it's easier to demonstrate, but we're actually going to be going into the front loop only. So for a reverse double crochet, your work is still facing you, like the same direction as you finish row 1, and we're going to go backwards. So you're going to bring your hook behind the work and go under the 2 loops of the single crochet. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through both loops. And that's a reverse single crochet. To do the next one, for example, you would go into the back, like you would go backwards into the previous stitch under both loops. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. However, again, we're not going to be going into both loops. We're going to be going into the front loop only. So let me undo that and explain how that's going to look. I'm going to remove my hook just to show you. So here we've done the chain 1 of row 2. So we're going to be doing reverse single crochets working backwards and only through the front loop. So you're going to be inserting your hook into the loop that's closest to you only. That's where we're going to be bringing in our hook and doing single crochets. But these are called reverse single crochets because you're working them backwards. So after the chain 1 that you just made, let me bring you closer. You go backwards to find that front loop only. Insert your hook into it. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through both loops. That's my first reverse single crochet. Let me go to the next one. Front loop only. Grab the yarn and pull through. And now yarn over, pull through 2. On to the next one, into the front loop only, the single crochet. Grab the yarn and pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. The more you make, the more you're going to start seeing that kind of curl. So let's keep going. Front loop only. And now grab the yarn and pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. Couple more. Front loop only. Pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2. One more. Front loop only. Yarn over, pull through. 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through both loops. So these are going to be our reverse single crochet in the front loop only. Continue doing this until the very end, and I'll see you when you're done. All right, so here we have it. I have done those reverse single crochets going back into the front loop only of the stitches. So now we're actually going to fasten off our yarn. So I'm going to chain 1 for this just to secure it. And you can go ahead and grab some scissors and then cut off your yarn, leaving a bit of a tail, and pull it through. So now that you've cut your yarn, we're going to reattach it to the left side. So essentially when you finish row 2, this is the way that you're looking at your work. We're never going to flip it. I'm just going to flip it to show you. So I'm flipping it so that I can show you that in this next row, we're going to be working into the back loops. The back loops are now more exposed. So the back loop of the single crochet up 2 rows ago. that's where you're going to go into for row 3. And it's still going to be reverse single crochets. So flip your work again. Should be facing you like this. And now we're going to grab our hook and our yarn. You've created a slip knot and you're going to reattach on the left side. So the left side, it's a little bit tricky to see the first back loop of the stitch. I already kind of tried it myself, so it's kind of hanging out. But make sure that you're going to the first back loop on this side. You're going to go from here, insert your hook through that loop, grab your yarn, like the slip knot I mean, and then pull it through. From here, we're going to chain 1. And now we're going to be doing reverse single crochets into each one of those back loops. So into that first back loop, go into it, grab the yarn and pull up, and do like yarn over, pull through 2 for our reverse single crochet. And continue doing this all the way back. So let's find the next back loop. It was really hard to show you here at the same time do it. So I'm going to flip it like this. My next back loop is here. So I'm going to go into that back loop, grab the yarn and pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2, and continue doing this. So next loop, grab the yarn and pull it up, yarn over, pull through 2. And now you're going to start feeling how those single crochets, reverse single crochets, are creating this kind of twist. It's a bit of a thicker twist. Continue going backwards into the back loops and doing single crochets all the way to the end of the row. And again, it's really hard to do it and show you, but I'm seeing the back loops right here. They're kind of like lifted a little bit. So continue going into those back loops one at a time, creating your reverse single crochets, and I'll see you at the very end. Okay, I just finished my very last one here. And so now we can go ahead and do a chain 1 to secure it and cut off your yarn. A few more ends to sew through because you had to cut your yarn and reattach. But now you can go ahead and thread those through. And I'll just show you, it kind of creates this 2 layers. So you've got those reverse single crochets and then this one that kind of comes out. So I think it's like three dimensions. Go ahead and thread your ends through and you're all done. Okay, and here we have it. This adds kind of like a 2-dimensional piece to your work. So you get this reverse single crochets kind of at the front, but then if you flip it over, you got those other ones on the other side. So lots of texture to this. I feel like the best way to admire it is if you look at it from below, then you'll see kind of the 2 dimensions of the piece. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.